Let's explore the secrets to true happiness. This evening's lesson is drawn from a good-hearted question found on Reddit. What do you think is the real way to human happiness? The individual wrote, "We are all taught to be slaves, essentially, to work hard, have large goals, great expectations of life, and thus end up miserable. As seen by the mass population being very unhappy. What do you think is the real way for humans to be happy in life?" I always think that is really simple, but propaganda complicates things. We should begin with broad brushstrokes, but instead we will begin as a cinematic geek by referencing the first Conan movie. Conan, what is good? To crush the enemy, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. Cromb might approve of such philosophy, but not Buddha. So let's explore the path of happiness in 3 easy steps. The first step is to fully embrace our autonomic nervous system. There are 2 facets of our autonomic nervous system. The first of the 2 facets is the sympathetic nervous system. And I need to check something to see what's visible on the camera. Okay, there we go. The sympathetic nervous system that we access with each inhalation. Our sympathetic nervous system is not found between our ears in the 3-pound supercomputer dwelling there. Au contraire, this bad boy is ensconced within the thoracic region of our spinal cord. That's the part that corresponds with our rib cage. No, our sympathetic nervous system has not evolved to support either extreme of mind blanking or active concentration. Well, if that's the case, then what has our sympathetic nervous system evolved to do? Our sympathetic nervous system has evolved to perceive and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. We have evolved to notice sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. We have evolved to notice emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. This can seem overwhelming. How are we to manage all this sensory overload? Every time we exhale, we access the parasympathetic nervous system, which is ensconced within both the lower lumbar region as well as the tippy top of the cervical region that some folks refer to as the I'm going to mispronounce this, the reticular activation system, or quite simply the brainstem, which is appropriate since this bad boy does look like a mushroom. Now, all these fancy vocabulary words aside, every time we exhale, this parasympathetic nervous system is wired to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. And here's the thing, this doesn't happen once any more than we're expected to just have one breath our entire life. We expect to go through life forever cycling between inhalation and exhalation. We also not expect to ever cycle between perception and release. This dance of our autonomic nervous system is the key to mindfulness and meditation and so much more. Our second step on the path of, and oh yeah, by the way, I really recommend starting off practicing this at least 5 minutes every 12 hours or so. Coincidentally, this live stream airs every 12 hours, and if your schedule and mine don't quite correlate, that's fine. YouTube does a splendid job of saving my live streams. Now, let us explore the second step on the path of happiness, unleashing empathy. Now, I don't know about you, but I was raised in patriarchy. I was raised in late-stage capitalism to be a controlling fool. Consequently, I was taught that if it's to be, it's up to me. How about you? Did you buy that bullshit as well? Consequently, my life was defined by active analysis and active concentration that relied upon such structures of the brain, such as the medial prefrontal cortex, as well as the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. Over-relying upon these structures in the short term, according to fMRI studies, causes our blood to collect, or at least the heat in our body to collect, at our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression found in the metaphoric dungeon of our limbic system. What happens when we over-rely upon our prefrontal cortex in the long term? We begin to present with various symptoms of depression. That's really, really bad news. But here's the good news. When we cease to rely upon the structures of our prefrontal cortex to actively concentrate and actively analyze, and instead rely upon the structures of our sympathetic nervous system to perceive, and our parasympathetic nervous system to release, this blood that has been collecting in our amygdala disperses to this structure, the anterior cingulate gyrus. To you and I, it just looks like a catcher's mitt, doesn't it? This bad boy functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, compassion, and love. We have evolved not only to perceive all the senses, but to experience all the emotions, all the intentions, all the thoughts, all the memories, all the imaginings. However, the more we rely upon mindfulness and meditation, the more empathy will be our default mode. It has been said by those far more educated than myself that we have not one but two, I'm going to use the wrong term, motivation centers. We have a pleasure-oriented dopamine center, motivation center. Once again, I'm using the wrong term, I apologize. And we have a cooperation-oriented oxytocin reward system. That's what I was looking for, reward system. Our brain is complex. It's not binary. It's analog. We're never going to feel just one thing. We're going to experience a mishigas, a goulash, if you will, grandma's stew, if you will. But although grandma had different stews, the ingredients were in different ratios with different recipes, and so each stew had a different flavor, if you lucked out. Similarly, the more we are defined by empathy, the more we are defined by cooperation, the happier we're going to be. Now, the greatest Dzogchen lamas of Tibet have insisted that the highest love is not the product of striving. The highest love is spontaneous, uncontrived, and the effortless product, you guessed it, of mindfulness, and of the mindfulness and meditation that rely upon our sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. This brings us elegantly to the third step on the path of happiness, surfing the flow state. Consider, please, this individual, this gal the color of a cumulus cloud. Observe how she appears to be actively sporting a tantric union. This reminds us that contrivance will always be trumped by spontaneity. Whoopsie, sorry about that microphone. Now, number 2, consider, if you will, her partner, the color of the azure sky, who appears to be passively savoring the same tantric union. This reminds us, number 2, that there is more than one flavor of spontaneity. And number 3, this reminds us that the scattered spontaneity, perhaps like the kind we might experience after our third espresso, that scattered spontaneity will always be trumped by centered spontaneity. The centered spontaneity that we generate through our regular practice of mindfulness and meditation. The more that our choices and our utterances and our deeds flow from the centered spontaneity that is, let me rephrase that. The more our choices, utterances, and deeds flow with the effortless effort of love's centered spontaneity, the more our life could be very much like the real or imagined paradise or Pure Land, or if you prefer Sanskrit, Vati of a Buddha. What is the path of happiness? It is paved by reliance upon our autonomic nervous system, unleashing empathy and surfing the present moment. I do look forward to putting this into practice with you after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism that you won't have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. We turn now to the latest iteration of All Good's Easy Meditation, remembering that All Good, Mother and Father are simply an archetype of the practice of love and letting go. Let us begin with an homage to impermanence. Prepare to snap your fingers. Whoops, look at that. That's not quite fitting on the screen, is it? Well, we can't have that. Let's fix this bad boy. There we go. Cowabunga. Respectfully, I bow my crown to the wisdom realizing, ever-changing one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp. Respectfully, I bow my crown to the wisdom realizing. Ever-changing one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp. Respectfully, I bow my crown to the wisdom realizing. Ever-changing one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp. Oh, look at this. Let's go like that. And let's make sure everything's hunky-dory. Cowabunga. Now let us bring whatever we spontaneously notice into the path of awareness and letting go. Let us begin by practicing this exercise for 4 rounds, assuming that a round is simply one inhalation followed by one exhalation. So let's keep track of these rounds by adjusting the location of the tip of our left finger during each in-breath, allowing it to rest in various places, such as the creases or tips of the fingers of our left hand. Please follow along with me. This as we breathe in, ease as we breathe out. As we breathe in, while silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this, we can kick back and watch the antics of mind as it perceives, emotes, intends, reasons, recalls, and imagines. As we exhale, while silently and mentally reciting the one-syllable verb ease, we can relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Let us now count an additional 4 rounds, this time upon our left ring finger. Let us count an additional 4 rounds, this time upon our left middle finger. That's right, the finger we use on the freeway to let people know that we think they're number one. Let us count an additional 4 rounds upon our left index finger. Even though I've held my finger up to the camera, it's more ergonomically sound to rest our hands in our lap. As we see here. I will now subject you to jumbo face. Brace yourself. So, upon our left hand, we've counted 16 rounds, and that's splendid. Upon our right hand, we can count sets. So we've just counted our first set of 16 rounds. Let's count an additional 15 sets of 16 rounds each. Let us bring the four bases of mindfulness: the circumstantial, the physical, the interpersonal, and the mental. Let us bring the four bases of mindfulness into the practice of love and letting go. Rather than indulge our controlling tendencies with all follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these kind words in harmony with all breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors for statements literal, and relax into the flexibility explaining metaphors as similes. May all minds of all beings now be as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha, symbolized by a tikli one syllable seed or bija mantra. So we've just used a simile, and the reason we use similes is that all complex life forms on this planet have evolved to think symbolically, and when we do use figurative language, it reaches a deep level of visceral comprehension. Oh, Jared's here. Hey, Jared, let's see. Jared wrote, oh, let me make this easier here. I'm going to hit button number 8. Okay, so Jared wrote, I got a message that says, welcome to Youngling. Did I achieve some sort of rank on the channel? No, I think that Hugh Lee joined. There is somewhere on the screen, there's, I think, a join button, and that's different ways that people can optionally join to support the channel. That's all. No biggie. So, quick like a bunny. I want to tap button 9. Okay. So, we've just played with all these words, and we're going to shrink them down to just 6 syllables. Please bear with me for a moment. Fabulous. All right. I was not expecting that. Okay, let's go back over here and make that smaller. Let's try 200. See if that works. So let us lovingly wish that during our inhalation, let us compassionately wish to breathe in all the dullness of all beings in the most wonderful way, like a great celestial vacuum cleaner, if you will. During our exhalation, let us lovingly wish to bestow wisdom upon all beings everywhere, like we were a great metaphysical sprinkler. This is not something that we need to visualize. This is simply if we play with these words silently, mentally, and passively, in harmony with our breathing, that's enough. That's enough. Let's continue. May all relationships or speech of all beings now be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist communication symbolized by the 12 syllable mantra. As we breathe in, we can compassionately intend to take away all beings' hate. As we breathe out, we can lovingly wish to lavish all beings everywhere with love. So, someone once said, well, if I can't do this, so someone said, if I'm doing this, I feel like I'm lying. No one's telling you to be Gandalf the Grey, although that would be lovely. All we're saying is, if you play with these words, silently and mentally and passively in harmony with your breathing, it will exercise your intention, compassionate and loving. May all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health seen in Buddhist statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined Devi or Yadom archetype of enlightenment such as Kuntu Zangpo. As silently, mentally, and passively we breathe in and breathe out, let us compassionately yearn to free all from illness and lovingly wish to bestow health upon all. May all circumstances or thoughts of all beings now have the good fortune or boon, as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land or Vati. as silently and mentally and passively, we inhale and exhale, we could allow these words to exercise our compassionate intention to free all from peril and lack, and our loving wish to lavish all with safety and good fortune. Let us bring the, again, let us, oopsie, I take it back. I got all excited. This time we're going to bring the 4 bases of mindfulness into the figurative practice of the rainbow body. All visible circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. So again, we're using similes. We're using figures of speech. We're using the verb melting as a metaphor of impermanence. We're using absorb as a metaphor of interdependence. We're not saying this is how things are. We're saying merely this is how things could be. A gentle approach is often the best approach. Let us contemplate that although our circumstances are seen, they are quite non-graspable. All sensual bodies or forms could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communicational speech. All resounding interpersonal speech could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. All lucid minds could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. One moment, if you please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. All lucid minds could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be not graspable to the hand. And now, we again will bring whatever we spontaneously notice into the path of awareness and letting go. Welcome to this evening's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. Let us now practice bodhicitta refuge and bowing. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of ever. Hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism may all liberation of all others be fueled by our reliance on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students, described by the metaphor of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. Having sat for the last 75 minutes or so, you might find it refreshing to join me for some geriatric step-back squat thrusts set to this concise recitation of bodhicitta and refuge. Whew. Like to use a wide stance. May we free all through the three jewels. 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 Whew. Whew. Let us seal this evening's practice by chanting love and letting go's wishes for universal enlightenment and well-being. Let's see, one moment, if you please. Let's see here. All right, here we go. May all minds of all beings lucid yet void no be as enlightened as a Buddha's mind symbolized by a unsuitable bija. May all speech of all beings resounding yet void no be as loving as a Buddha's speech symbolized by a multi-syllable mantra. May all forms of all beings sensual yet void no be as healthy as a yidam octave depicted in Buddhist statuary. May all lots of all beings appearing yet void no be as fortunate as a pure land of law represented in Buddhist paintings. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to tomorrow's early meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.